The beginning of 2024 has been one of the most, if not the most, challenging and painful times of my life, which is ironic because leading up to it, I had some really exciting life events planned, and I was convinced it was going to be the best year yet. To have an abrupt shift in everything I planned for myself and for my future made me feel like my world was turned upside down, and I wasn't in a good headspace for a while, going through a period of grief and loss. And while I work on my personal healing journey, I also want to be someone who could help someone else who might also be going through a hard time, whether it's a breakup or sickness or loneliness or anxiety. These feelings reminded me why I started social media in the first place. I actually started posting in high school at a time when I was feeling really lonely and just different and isolated from my peers. Social media for me back then was this way to create an ideal fantasy life centered around being this glamorous, globe-trotting surfer girl. And actually, the life that I'm living now was manifested by that. And at the time, it was a way for me to build and connect to a community, to not feel so alone, even if it was virtual. And that gave me the confidence to move forward and know that things would get better. And over 10 years later, I find myself having to completely reevaluate who I am and to be honest with myself about what I want and what I value. And with this extreme change I've been going through with the loss of a 9-year serious relationship, I find myself feeling similar feelings to when I did when I first began my social media journey. But this time around, with an amazing community surrounding me and friends that are like sisters to me, I feel like everything that is happening is a way to put me on a path that I'm meant to be on. I find myself forced to confront the parts of me that were just buried under the noise of life. And I'm trying to shift my mindset into thinking that this is actually a great opportunity to figure out why those parts of me were buried in the first place. I've also been thinking about the mark I want to make in this world, and experiencing pain has also made me more humble and I think more compassionate towards other people's experiences, because you just never know what someone is going through. It's also hard to document your life on social media because you do have to find the balance between privacy and sharing what you're doing and what you're going through. And the more I've grown up and matured, the more I realize that privacy is a luxury and it's something that I want to protect. So what I'm trying to focus on now in this time of my life, I've been asking myself these questions. How do I find contentment within myself? How can I enrich my social life with meaningful interactions and relationships? And how do I continue to show up for my friends and family and nourish the relationships that I already have? I actually made a little list in my journal, just brainstorming things that I want to be more mindful about in order to just live my most fulfilled life. I want to try new things without fear. I want to let go of embarrassment and shame. I want to be honest, open, vulnerable, to get out of my comfort zone, saying yes to social outings and events that I would probably turn down because of social anxiety, finding out my passions and working on them, moving my body, spending time in nature, just surfing more, walking more, swimming more. For me, the ocean is always so healing, and it's the best medicine, especially when you can share it with your friends. Traveling more, gardening, taking care of my plants, watching them grow, motivate myself to do activities, to get out of the house, to stop scrolling or watching TV endlessly. Journaling has been so vital for me in this time. I actually used to journal every day from when I was in 3rd grade until I was in college, and then I just stopped. I have them all in a box somewhere, but writing again is so therapeutic for me, and it feels like a physical marker of my inner shift, if that makes sense. I've been writing about what I really want in my life, where I hope I'll end up, what my non-negotiables are, what I can and can't compromise on, what I'm grateful for, practicing loving what I have and not idealizing what I lost. I've also been listening to guided meditations to go to sleep. I was having a really difficult time sleeping this past month and just spiraling and feeling so alone, trying not to have a panic attack when I was first going through the initial grief. My theme for this year is to do the inner work so that my life actually feels good, that my life feels peaceful and meaningful outside of this ideal life that I post on social media, that I might make a difference in the lives of the people that I care about. Being true to myself, listening to my intuition, and just taking the steps to get on the path that I'm meant to be on. And I don't know where this journey is going to take me, but all I know is we're in this together.